Hello everybody, I'm Louie the Left Fielder, and I have a special message to pass along to you about friendship. We all need friends in our lives, and we should try to be attentive to their needs. Of all the friends I have, I don't know a single one who doesn't need kindness, respect, compassion, courtesy, and understanding. My role in the Threads and Friends series is to show you the do's and don'ts of making friends, and more importantly, of making those friendships last. Let's read the story together. Every morning, Louie the Left Fielder was excited to get to school and even more excited to go to baseball practice at the end of the day. He had made many wonderful friends when he joined the All-Stars baseball team. They all had fun playing baseball and hanging out together, both on the field and off. When Louie got to school that day, there was a new kid in Louie's class. "Class, I'd like you to meet Alan Cho," their teacher said. "Please make him feel welcome." Louie patted the empty seat next to him. "You can sit here, Alan. My name is Louie." The new boy took a seat and gave Louie a grateful smile. "Thanks." "Where did you move here from?" Louie asked Alan. "Michigan. My dad got a new job, so we had to move. Last year, we moved 2 times because of his work," Alan pouted. "Now I have to make new friends again." Louie thought about Alan's problem for a second. Louie had met almost all of his friends at baseball. Maybe Alan would meet some there too. "I'm on a baseball team called the All-Stars. We have a team practice today after school. You could come and watch, and I can introduce you to the rest of the team. They're all my friends, and maybe they can be yours too." Alan grinned. "Sounds good. Thanks, Louie." The teacher got their attention, and the class got to work on some math problems. Louie helped Alan find the right page in the book and sat with him at the lunch table, so his new friend wouldn't feel lonely. Pedro and the rest of the team were doing some warm-up exercises to get ready for practice. "Hey, everybody," Louie said. "I brought someone to practice. His name is Alan, and he just moved here. I was hoping you could make him feel welcome." "Of course. Hi, Alan." Pedro put out his hand to shake with Alan. "I'm Pedro, the pitcher." Each of the members of the team introduced themselves and began to ask Alan questions. "What sports do you like?" Kathy asked. "Baseball and hockey," Alan said. "Hockey is my favorite though." "There's a hockey game on TV tomorrow night," Pedro said. "My mom said I could have some friends over to watch it. Do you want to come, Alan?" Alan nodded. "I'll ask my dad." "Cool. Everyone brings a snack," Gary said. "Our team does a lot of fun things together." "That's right," Sam said. "And we're always happy to include another friend. Welcome to the group, Alan." "Let's go, team! Time for practice," Coach Threads called out. Alan took a seat on the bleachers to watch while the rest of the team went out on the field. For an hour, Louie and the rest of the All-Stars ran laps, did some catching drills, and talked about the upcoming game against the Wildcats. At the end of practice, Coach Threads split the team in 2 so they could play a practice game. Pedro went out to the pitching mound. He leaned back, raised his arm, and threw a fastball. Gary, who was at bat, swung and missed. "Strike," Coach Threads called. "My dog can hit better than that," Alan yelled. Louie looked over at Alan. That was a kind of mean thing to say. Maybe Alan was just joking? Pedro threw a curveball and Gary swung, but hit too low and the ball fouled. "That was a terrible swing," Alan yelled. Gary's cheeks turned red. He looked upset, and that made Louie mad. No one should make his friends feel bad. Gary ignored Alan and concentrated on Pedro's next pitch. This time, Gary got a base hit. He dropped the bat and ran to first base. "It's about time!" Alan shouted. Coach Threads put up a hand to pause the practice. Time out, guys. Quick team meeting. The team came in from the field and met Coach Threads in the dugout. "What's up, Coach?" Louie asked. Coach's expression was serious. "Louie, it was very nice of you to invite Alan to meet the team, but he's not being very nice to Gary. Our team is about uplifting each other, not being mean. If Alan can't learn to be a good friend to everyone, I'm sorry to say he won't be welcome at practice." "Yeah, and I don't want him coming to watch the hockey game at my house," Pedro said. "Anyone who is mean to one of my friends isn't invited." Louie scuffed at the dirt. He felt bad for inviting Alan. Maybe it had been a mistake to befriend the new kid. Should I tell him to leave, Coach? Coach Threads looked over at Alan, who was sitting alone on the bleachers. "I believe in second chances. Sometimes people say mean things because they are upset about something else. Why don't you talk to Alan first?" Louie walked over to the bleachers and climbed up the steps to where Alan was sitting. Louie was still upset with Alan for hurting Gary's feelings. "Alan, I invited you to practice so you could make some friends here," Louie said. "Why did you make fun of Gary? He was trying his best and you said some mean things." Alan shrugged. "I don't know." Louie sat down beside Alan and thought about what Coach Threads had said. Maybe there was something else bothering Alan. I bet it's really hard to move to a new town and not know anybody. Gary moved here 3 years ago and he had to make friends just like you. If you try, I'm sure everyone on the team will want to be friends with you too. Alan looked away. "It doesn't matter. I don't want new friends anyway." "Why not?" For a long time, Alan stared at his shoes and didn't say anything. "The truth is, I don't want to say goodbye again." Alan glanced at Louie, and his eyes were full of tears. "What if I make lots of friends, and then my dad gets another job, and I have to move again? It was really hard to say goodbye to my friends in Michigan." "I understand that," Louie said, "but you shouldn't be afraid of something that hasn't happened yet. Coach tells us that all the time when we get anxious before a game and worry about losing." "That's good advice," Alan said. "And I do like the team members. I'm sorry for being mean. I'm going to go apologize to Gary now." Alan climbed down the bleachers and went over to talk to Gary. When he was done, Gary gave him a hug. At the end of practice, Louie and Alan walked home together. "Thanks for talking to me," Alan said. "I'm going to try to be a good friend from now on to everyone on the All-Stars. They really are great people." "That's because we're more than friends," Louie said. "We're a team. And now, you're an honorary All-Star. Alan, welcome to the team." Alan grinned. "Thank you, Louie. You made this the best day ever. Thanks for being a great friend to me." Louie just smiled. He'd learned many things since he joined the All-Stars, but learning how to be a good friend to others was the best lesson of all. Well, I hope you've learned something from Alan's mistakes. You should always treat others the way you want to be treated. Avoid being rude. It hurts. And rather than act on the fear of possibly losing a friend, focus on doing the things you need to do to keep them. Kindness is a bond that lasts forever.